he has some deceptiveness to his game to where you think you got him and then he's gone. You think you got him again and then he's gone again.
Oh, what tackle that was! A superb strike!
Put some respect on Pedri's name. Injury-free Barcelona star isn't being spoken about enough for world-class midfield displays. The Spaniard has been plagued by fitness problems in recent years, but he's in incredible shape and top form at the moment. Almost exactly a year ago, a report appeared in the Spanish press claiming that Pedri was no longer untouchable at Barcelona. It still seemed highly unlikely that the midfielder would actually be sold, but the idea that Blaugrana would at least listen to any offers that arrived during the summer transfer window did not feel that far-fetched. For starters, Barca's financial problems were well known. At the time, there was also talk of Rafinha being sacrificed to help balance the books. Secondly, and far more significantly, there were mounting concerns over Pedri's persistent injury issues, with the Spain international having just been sidelined with a hamstring problem for the 6th time in less than 3 years. There were obviously no doubts over Pedri's prodigious talent, but his inability to stay fit had undeniably become a major cause for concern in Catalonia, and it was heartbreaking for neutrals everywhere to see one of the game's most gifted players forced out of Euro 2024 with a knee injury caused by a crude challenge from Toni Kroos. However, 8 months after his enforced exit from his country's quarter-final win over Germany, Pedri is arguably in better shape and better form than at any previous point in his fledgling career. It's difficult to overstate just how big an impact Pedri made at Barcelona following his arrival in the summer of 2020. The €5 million signing from Las Palmas, one of the greatest buys in Barca's history, was only expected to feature sporadically during his debut season at Camp Nou, but he became a regular starter in a matter of months. Even Lionel Messi was blown away by the teenager's talent, and there was a lovely moment during a 3-0 win at Real Valladolid, when the number 10 made history by becoming the player with the most goals for a single club in football history, but rather than basking in his latest achievement, he instead pointed at Pedri, the provider of an outrageous back-heeled assist. The pair played wonderfully alongside one another that season, and it was even hoped that their fantastic on-field relationship, which seemed to symbolize Barca's past, present, and future, might even convince Messi to stay in Catalonia. However, the Argentine left just as Pedri began to break down.
Pedri has played, I think it's 70 games over the last season. At the end of the Euros, of course, when he played every minute bar one in the Euros, and nobody expected that. This is an 18-year-old kid. In theory, I suppose, at 18 you've got energy to burn, but when the announcement was made that he was going to the Olympic Games as well, there was real concern from Barcelona.
And even if you win the competition, Pedri shows up with Barcelona, and early on in the season, he has an injury. People are going to point at the Olympic team.
Barca and Spain ran Pedri into the ground as he featured in 52 games for his club and represented his country at both the European Championship and the Olympics in the same summer. He was still only 18, and unsurprisingly, his body buckled under the strain of playing so much elite-level football at such a young age. Pedri missed nearly the entire 2021-22 season because of two separate, but clearly connected spells on the sidelines with hamstring injuries. It came as no surprise, then, to see him reduced to tears when he was forced off with yet another muscular problem during Barca's clash with Athletic Club on March 5th of last year. Back then, there was a very real fear that Pedri's development had been irreparably damaged by playing a ridiculous 73 games for Barca and Spain in 2020-21, and that he might never fully recover, much like his teammate Ansu Fati. However, Barcelona left no stone unturned in their bid to help Pedri finally get over his physical problems, and the results of genetic analysis of his muscles carried out in the United States suggested that he required daily strength work. Pedri also benefited enormously from working with Hansi Flick and the Germans' backroom team, whereas there was an understandable worry that Pedri might struggle under such a notoriously demanding coach who attaches an enormous amount of importance to intensive pressing. It has actually proved the making of him. Physically, I noticed that I am doing much better, able to do different things, he told Mundo Deportivo. We are working much harder at the club than before, and I think the physical trainers who have come in are doing us a lot of good. We put in a lot of effort in training, and that shows in the game. The team doesn't let up after the 70th or 80th minute, but but rather maintains its level of fitness.
No, Pedri it was a fantastic match today. So he was very important for us to control the match, and he's doing really good. Also with the other midfield players, and he's with the ball, he's outstanding.
That is a glorious ball from Pedri!
With the ball, he's outstanding. That's how Hansi Flick can simply describe this maestro of a midfielder. All of the hard work is paying off, both for Pedri and for Barcelona. The 22-year-old has missed just one game so far this season, and that was only because of illness. He remains a relatively slender figure for a modern midfielder, more in the mold of Cesc Fabregas than Yaya Toure, but is proving far more robust than ever before. Only Jules Koundé and Pau Cubarsí have featured in more games for Barca than Pedri this season, while only Rafinha has made more starts. Not since 2020 to 2021 have we seen so much of Pedri on the pitch, and it's fair to say that he's making his presence felt. Again, though, Flick has been key in that regard. As well as boosting Barca's overall fitness levels, a hugely significant positional change that is belatedly harnessing all of Pedri's potential. Whereas he'd previously been deployed in a more advanced position to make the most of his ability to prise open opposition defenses with his precision passing, he's now playing in a deeper role within a double pivot alongside a more orthodox holding midfielder like Marc Casado or Frenkie de Jong. In a way, the thinking was quite simple. Pedri is Barca's best ball player, so why not get him on the ball as much as possible? But the ploy has proven even more effective than even Flick envisaged. As well as contributing 5 goals and 6 assists so far this term, Pedri has become absolutely integral to everything Barcelona do, the perfect link between defense and attack, and arguably the key component in a team of superstars. He's won more possession than any other player across Europe's Big 5 leagues this season, 233 times, while only Rafinha has created more chances than Pedri, 61, for Barca. He also makes the most successful passes into the final third for Flick's Liga leaders, while he ranks second for tackles won, 45, and duels won, 177, and joint first alongside Casado for interceptions, 23 apiece. Flick then has a point when he says that Pedri should not be compared to any other player in the game right now. He is, as the ex-Bayern Munich boss has repeatedly pointed out, an extraordinarily complete footballer presently performing at the peak of his powers. I feel liberated, Pedri admitted to Mundo Deportivo. I think Flick has also conveyed that to me, to play without pressure, to do what I know how to do, and I feel much more relaxed now. And that the mix of confidence and calmness is undoubtedly rooted in the fact that he's physically stronger than ever before. Barca and Spain will obviously have to continue carefully managing Pedri's workload, particularly in light of an increasingly congested international match calendar. But it's immensely encouraging that he is capable of covering an incredible amount of ground in each and every game. Basically, after almost 4 years, Pedri is finally injury-free and flourishing as a result. He's got both a new contract and a new lease of life.